Your first trip to Paris. That seemed very interesting. And I'm talking about when you were in the very first trip, and it came about in a really interesting way. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I had written.
Yes.
I read the famous writer Romain Gary.
Yeah, you're in high school at this time.
In high
right?
school,
yeah.
And he won the Prix Goncourt twice. I was supposed to win it once.
Right.
He was married to the American actress Jean Seberg, who was in Breathless, the famous film.
Yeah.
I read Promise at Dawn, and it just blew my socks off. And
right.
I wrote a book report on it. I loved this story. I'd never seen someone use language like that, and I wrote him. I was in high school, a fan letter, probably to New York, and
right, to his editor or whatever,
yeah. And at the end of the summer, I got a letter in the mailbox with a French stamp addressed to Mademoiselle Black, and I was like, ooh, and then I opened it. Mon Dieu. And it was Monsieur Gary had written me a thank you note, handwritten.
Right.
All, very nice. And on the back of the envelope, he had put his return address, 108 Rue du Bac. And
isn't that in the Marais? Isn't that right in the middle of everything?
No, in the 7th.
Oh, in the 7th.
Rue
Okay.
du Bac.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Very, very.
Shishi.
Yeah, but nice.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, oh my God. And I just saved it. And I took that as a personal invitation when I went to Paris to visit him. And I was.
Okay, but wait. You took it as a personal invitation, but it wasn't necessarily personal.
No, he just, put his
just the fact that the address was there, which meant you knew how to find him.
Yeah.
So he didn't say, come visit me, but you just went and found him when you got there?
Because that's what you do when you're a fangirl and you're 18 years old on your first trip to Paris.
Yeah, and you were actually able to track him down.
I went to this address, and he took me out for coffee.
And more than just coffee, there was another thing you guys shared.
Yeah, he gave me my first espresso and a cigar. Because he smokes cigars.
Yeah.
And I had never drank an espresso, smoked a cigar, and I was leaning on this cafe counter trying to talk to this man and puffing and not cough and speak and drink. And it was...
So weren't you just blown away? First of all, that he would even, he actually met you. And then he took you out for coffee and a cigar.
Well, I went to his door. He didn't know what to do with me.
But first of all, the fact that, in Paris, there's always the digicode and there's always like 3 layers of doors to get to the person, first of all. So the fact that he answered and then came down and was so nice. You must have been, because you're like, what, 16 or 17 or something? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
A lot younger, wearing, like flannel shirts and jeans, totally not Parisian.
Right.
Maybe he had a break in his writing. He was bored. He thought, how do I get her out of here? Let's go to the... But, he went to this cafe every day and it was waiting for him. So it was this incredible honor.
Yeah.
And, there's so many things I wish I had asked him, but I was...
Well, that was my next question. Did he share any big writing nuggets or anything that really lasted, or it was just a nice, friendly encounter?
It was incredible. He was complaining about his roof in his house in Spain. And his child, Jean Seberg, had just left him.
Okay.
So his young boy, who's older now, was being raised by the Spanish nanny. So there was a lot of things in Spain. And, I should have thought, but what did, I was just couldn't speak.
No, that's
very
fantastic.
kind, very kind, very generous.
All right. Well, I just love that story.